Hello everyone, good morning.
Good morning, Vikram.
So let's wait for another couple of minutes and then we will start. Hello everyone, good morning again. So I think we will start. It's good time to go ahead. So do you guys have any questions on our previous classes? Okay, I'll take this as no questions. So as of now, so we discussed about Python background, why we should use, why we should learn Python in this trending world, and we also gone through with that installation part of those softwares. And in our previous classes, I already explained how we can use Jupyter Notebook, Spider, and VS Code. What are the options available? Like how we can create a files, different files, like how we can execute. We have already discussed all these things, right? So for who all are very new in my classes, basically, especially, so those people's don't worry on that. So anyhow, we are going to use these three softwares in continuous sessions. So there again, I'm going to explain what are those options and what it means, how it will be helpful in our coding. I'll explain all of these things. Okay, so instead of going through with again the same concept, so I'll just explain whenever we are going good, whenever we are doing some coding. So I'm going to explain on that time. So will that be okay for you all?
Yes.
Okay, then let's get started. So let me share my screen. So we'll go with our starting basic Python things. Okay, so I'll start with print statement. Okay, it's a very basic Python programming that you should know actually. So I'll go with very scratch level. Okay, by using a print function, like how we can print different set of statement in a different ways. Okay, so for that, anyhow, if you guys wants to run Jupyter notebook, it's a very simple. Like go and search Anaconda prompt and just type Jupyter notebook. That's it. But my server is already running in another prompt, maybe here. Yeah, this is already running, so I can use that same. So you can use a lab also, like a tree or lab, whatever you want. So just you need to do one thing is, so you can just search on, so you can just change instead of tree. Like earlier, it was tree only, very basic Jupyter tree. Like you can see, like how the tree looks. This is how it looks. This is your local folder structure. So here you need to create a new files and all. So it is continuously creating any new tabs on your search engines in our browsers. Okay, but I don't want that. I don't like also on that. So I'll just replace this tree with lab. Okay, but the options are like working. Everything is same. It's just a new UI then compared to tree. See how it looks. This is my local folder structure. Come on. Yeah, this is my local folder structure. This is what this is the place where you can code it, where you can create your new files and all. So here for today's class, I'm going to create a new Python files for you all for some hands-on coding things. So I'll just click on Python 3 because Python 3 is the updated version that we're using. Okay, so yes, I created a file. So if you want to rename it, you can just right click on that and rename this notebook. You can give any names. Python print statements. Okay, so you should not change this extension IPYNB. So this is nothing but IPython notebook. Okay, don't change this extension. Just you can change the file name and just press a rename button. So now the file is gets renamed. So if you want to see is that file is created in your local system or not, so I just created this file on documents, in the documents in ML section. So maybe it should be there. Yeah, see, Python print statement, this notebook is created in a local folder inside of my local folder. Okay, now so here we have like iconic options here. One is for saving that your notebook. So if like instead of seeing in a like cross symbol, you guys can see like dot. It means this file is not yet saved. Once you press the button save, that dot symbol is disappeared. Okay, so now you can see this closing symbol. Okay, then that keyboard shortcut again, you can just press Ctrl S as it. So this is for creating a new cell. So this we can call it as a new cell. This block, whatever we are doing, support like whatever I'm writing, right? So this we can call it here as a cell. So if you wants to create a more cell, you can create it. If you wants to cut those cells, you can cut as well. And if you guys really wants to copy that same cell and if you wants to paste it, you can just copy that cell. So first you need to select it, then you can copy it. And if you wants to paste it, you can paste it here. And this is the play button. If you really wants to execute this cell with your codes, you can just press this play button to play that. If you wants to stop, if you wants to interrupt in between your execution, you can just press this interrupt button. If you want to restart this kernel, if like if before going to that, I will just explain what is that kernel. Okay, kernel is in a backend option, backend support which we have in between Python notebook and Python. Okay, in this notebook and the Python. If your kernel is good, if your kernel is trusted, so you can see here. So you can see here IPython kernel. If this kernel is working correctly, if you don't have like kernel status is idle, okay, if it is trusted, then only you can execute your Python code in this notebook. If your kernel is corrupted, if kernel is not trusted, if kernel is not working, then you are not able to write and execute your Python code in this notebook. So in that case, the notebook is not able to understand which is your Python code, right? So make sure that if you're facing any issues on executing the Python codes in your notebook, so very firstly you should check your kernel is working properly or not. Okay. Then, so here it is. So if you really wants to restart this kernel, you can just press this restart button. In that case, all your execution, previous execution get vanished. Okay. If you really wants to execute this notebook freshly within a new inputs, new outputs, you can just press this restart button. Okay. Then this is a for restart this complete one. And if you want to execute it all with the restart, then you can press this button. And other one is notebook is not only providing a coding cell. This is also providing in a text cell as well. If you really wants to add any header for your notebooks, if you really wants to add any description, so you can change this block, this code to markdown or raw. So if you're writing any syntax, if you need this cell as it is, not within a Python execution. So in that case, you can go within a raw. If you really wants to add any text or header something, you can go within a markdown. So here I want to add a heading. So for this today's class heading, then I can go code and I'll change this into markdown. Okay, what I'm doing. So I want to give a heading. So you can just add a hash as a prefix and give that space. If you are added a one hash, it means it's a first level heading. If you added a two hash, it is a second level heading. Added a three hash, third level heading. We have in this way we have four levels of headings. Okay, so here I'm given a one level, like very first level of heading is um usage of print function. So I'm executing this line of code. You can use shift control, okay, as a keyboard shortcut to execute this cell. Otherwise, you can press this play button. So I'll just use my keyboard shortcut, that is shift enter. So see, and if you really want to add any description, you can add without this hash. If you are writing something without this hash, it means that it's a description. What I can give um, in this today's class, we are doing hands-on coding. It's my heading. Okay. If you really wants to bold this text, so then what you can do, you can just add a double star at the beginning and end of that statement. See? So in this way, you can add your text and you can give your description for your notebooks. Okay, if you really wants to add within a number like in like in a points, you can just do star space. See, so in this way, you can add a good description for your codes. Okay, this is how it will be helpful. So any
Sir,
questions so far?
yes, sir. Do we use this only for description or any other purpose? This markdown option.
This is for only just a documentation perspective.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how do we know what are the options we have? Like hash, you have introduced to us, and star. And how do we know what are all options we have?
Yeah, these are the options we have. So if
Only
you
two
really
options.
wants to, yeah, If you really wants to go with an like point wise description, you can use star space. If you really wants to go with an a bold, you can just go with an a double star at the beginning and end, or you can simply give your text as a description. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So just to give a like very attractive notebook to any of your customer, any of your managers in your work life, you can always go in this way. Okay. See now
Vikrant, one
this.
more question. So what does the level of heading specify? Means you mentioned there are four levels of heading, right? Is it
Mhm.
just size of the letters, or what does the level of heading specify?
So you can see like hide and like hidden symbol here, right? So in this way, you can have multiple first level of headings. Okay. So let's say um, next heading. Okay. Now you can see this section is hidden. So you can come like you can imagine in this way as a sections. So this is the first section. This is the second section of coding. Third section of the coding. So in the first section, you may have subsection. So subsection in the sense that is second level of heading. So I may go with new creation of new cells. This is a second level. Okay.
Mm.
I'm okay. I just want to convert this into markdown. See, so this is a first level. So in the maybe you could have like many subsections in a second level. See, so you can see this hierarchy. So it's a first level. In the first level, we have two levels. In the second level also, we could have uh, third level also. Here I'm going with an 3 hash, third level. Mm. Now you can see this is the first level, right? So this is the main section. So in the main section, you may get second like a second level, sub level. So in that second level, yeah, you can see. I'll just remove this one. Yeah. So now you can see this is the first one. In that section, usage of print section, we have two subsections again. That is second level and second level two. So in the second level, again, we have another level that is third level one, third level two. In this way, you can create a hierarchy of that. Did you got what I'm trying to explain?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
This is what the level of headings. So finally, we have only 4 levels. Okay, you can give till 4 hashes. This is how that markdown works. Okay, then yep. If you guys really want to like this is actually the manual approach. Okay, just going here to save this file and creating a cells and all. So without touching this icon, I'm just doing some, I can do my work. So like creating this cells in the above, creating a cells in the below, and convert this into a markdown page. See, automatically converting this into markdown. So these all are the keyboard shortcuts. So how could you know like the keyboard shortcuts? Where we can find it? Okay. So whenever you guys are going to use as a tree, okay. So here you can open that documents. So there I can just change this into last modified inside of this folder. This is the notebook. See, these notebooks are opening in a different tabs. Okay. So here we have an help option. So these are the same thing. Also, you can see iconic representation of your operations, what you want to do. The same options will be available here as well. So if you really wants to know about the kernel, you can just use a tree-based notebook, and you can just explore this. And if you really wants to know the keyboard shortcuts, go here, help, and click on that keyboard shortcuts. See, you may find all of these keyboard shortcuts comments. Okay, so try to explore these comments by your own and do familiar with these comments, because this will be fasters your process and work and execution, everything. Okay. Then again, I'm switched back to notebook, not notebook, switching back to lab for further process. Come on. Yeah, now I got it. Where is my new notebook? See, so I'm able to create this section. For time being, I'll just delete this one. Okay. So again, I'm creating in a new cells on the below for writing the Python codes. So let's do our first line of execution. So just I'm going to print few statements in a different way. So if you want to print any statement in Python, you can use print function. Python have many built-in functions so that you can use it for your operations. Okay, so you can call this print function. So inside of the print function, you need to provide the inputs. So you can just click on inside, like if you go inside of this function. So whenever I'm using a function, okay, that variable, that keyword is end up with this parenthesis, open and close. Okay, sometimes this parent, like inside of the, it requires some of the inputs inside of this parenthesis, sometimes not. Okay, you can just press on the shift tab over here. You may get a good documents on that, what that function is doing, what are the arguments it is expecting by the users. That all information you may get in a second by pressing a shift tab. That's the beauty of this Jupyter notebook. Okay, you can code it in your own way instead of searching or instead of asking anyone. You can just read this doc string, can just read this document and all. So what this do, prints the value to a stream. Okay, what it is doing? It is just printing the values. Okay, then what is the expected one? First argument, that is value. Value means what are the values which you are going to print. That value it is that you have to provide. Okay, along with that we have multiple arguments, separation or end up within a new line. Slash n means new line. Okay, that all we have. Okay, just we need to explore all of these things, right? So here I'm going to give some value, that is, if I'm giving a numeric values, I'm going to give 10. See, it is printing 10 here. uh why I'm going with such. Yeah, if you really wants to go with any text, welcome to hands-on coding session. See, this is how we can print uh, the statements. Welcome to hands-on coding sessions. Okay, then if you really want to specify the session days, like how many days we are completed, like if you really wants to print this statement with any numbers, how we can print it? We can directly go here and just say it is our fourth class. So in this way we can provide it. But how we can add these four values from external source? It means this printing statement as it is, I don't want to change this printing statement, but each and every day I want to change this number as number only. In that case, how we can go ahead? So we can say here, I can create a variable with the name of count. Count. So count is equals to, for today it is 4. Okay. So for that you can use f strings. F string in the sense, whenever I'm bringing a word as a string, it means that is enclosed within a double quotes, single quotes, or triple quotes. But whatever it is, it should be enclosed within a quotes. Okay, whether it is single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes. I'll just show what I mean by quotes and all. So if I'm using this one, this is a single quotes. Okay, this is double quotes. Triple quotes in the sense, this is the one space. This we can call it as a triple quotes. Okay, if your inputs is enclosed with these kinds of quotes, then we can easily call it as that is a string type. That is actually string. Okay, I'll just delete this one. Yeah. So if that quotes you have a prefix of f, then we can call this as an f strings. F strings is we are going to use to give a dynamic input to your printing statements. How we can provide our other variables into the printing statement by using flower braces. So if I'm getting a flower braces, then it will take that as a variable. So I can provide a variable name. So this is, so whatever I'm going to write it on the left side of this equals to, then this we can call it as a variable. This is the value. So you can, you should understand the difference between the value and variable. This count we can call it as a variable. 4 we can call it as a value for that value of that particular variable. So let's add my variable here, that is count. See, welcome to Hands-on Coding session 4. Now again, I'm changing this into 5. Like if I started a session for tomorrow, then what will be the count? It should be incremented with 1. Then I'll change this into 5. So I'm just executing this line of code. So I haven't touching this code. Okay, this is, you can say, my software. Okay, so I'm just giving a input for that my softwares. So the software is printing in this way by accepting my input. This is default statement that I don't want to change, right? This is how it works, that f strings. If you miss to add this f string, how it works? This is not considering this count as a variable. This is this is simply considering as a text, and it is printing as it is. See, this is not going to consider that as a variable. So for Python, we should provide, we should tell that, yeah, this is my variable. You should take the input from my variable. You should take the value from my variable that we need to print it. So how we can provide that command? So by using f strings. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, so I hope no questions. I'll take this as no questions. Then, so you can print. It is not only giving any one statement. So I have some other notebooks having multiple example. So I will share this notebook with you all. That's for sure. Basics Python coding. Why it is lagging? Yeah. You can say I have a multiple printing examples over here. So printing any of the name, you can just use it. So it is like you can create any variable, that also possible, where I can give this as a name. So this is the name which you need to select, which you have to provide. So we don't have, it is not like you should to specify any of the particular variable name. No, it's your own. So it's your choice, whatever the variables names which you are going to give, that's fine, totally fine. Okay, so in the same way, um, yeah, so I will show some input function as well. Okay, so here I'm going to provide a count values. Okay, then how I can provide this count values from the front end, like as a checkbox, like how I can provide it. So I will call this count is equals to, I'm just calling this input function, input functions. See, so whatever the values which you are going to give it here, like let's say I'm going to give it as 7, that, and I'm pressing an enter. So then the count is loaded with then a value of 7. Okay, I'm going to execute the same line of code again. See, you can see the changes. So you can use the printing like input function in this way. So here I'm going to give some instruction to user. So please specify session number. That's it. See now, please specify the session number. Now I'm going to specify it as a 10. I'm pressing any enter. Okay, I'll add this lines of code in a single cell. Yeah. So I'll just run this software. You can consider this is just a small software. So it is saying like, please specify the session number. I'm going to provide the session number as 11. I'm pressing enter. Then what it is printing? Welcome to Anson coding session 11. Right? This is how it works. Okay, so like print, like input, we have many built-in functions in Python. So definitely I'll cover 90% of the 80% of the built-in functions, and I have a list of Python built-in function as well, and I'll show when it comes to the discussions of Python built-in functions. Okay, so this is just an example like to show how simple it is, how easy it is, that Python, right? So this is how you can understand the Python. Okay, and do we have any other good examples to showcase that? Uh, uh, mm, yeah, I hope that's it. By considering, by understanding these things, you may achieve anything. Okay, it is not like you can provide only one variable, you can provide multiple variable as well. So okay, so if you really wants to give the instructor name, I'll just add another variable called in I'm just going to give instructor name. Okay, that we should provide. So I'm going to add this variable into this function as of the instructor name. I should enclose with flower brackets. Yes. See now, please specify the session number, that is 10. I'm just going to give any inputs. Instructor name is Vikrant. Now, welcome to Anson coding session 10 of Vikrant. So this is how you can print, you can provide the results to your users. Okay, by accepting any input from the user, you can provide it. Do you guys have any questions so far?
So past count, we can assign the integer value, right? For count. Is this possible to assign the string value for the update the string value for that count, overriding the integer value to string value?
You can give any values. So I'm just
Okay.
providing
It
a
is supporting to the any type, any data types,
any
right?
type. So yeah,
Okay.
here I'm not provided the data type for this input function. I'm just
Mm.
like, if you really wants to give the count value as in wordings, you can see
Mhm.
TEN. Okay. See, see, welcome to hands-on coding session 10 of Wiki.
Okay,
Right?
got it.
So here I'm not doing any mathematical operations of these values, these variables. Here I'm just simply printing whatever I'm getting from the user. Whatever I'm getting from the user means this 10 and Vikrant. So that I'm printing it over here. If you really going to do any mathematical operations in between this count and the instructor, then the data type would matters, because you can't do any of the mathematical operations for the string values. Is it possible to do anything for the text? No, right?
No, no.
Yeah. So in that case, the data type will appear. The data types matters.
Okay, in that case, do we need to mention the data type, specific data type?
Sometimes
Or-
if you are going to use this input function, sometimes this input function is assigning a right data type, sometimes not. But
Okay,
better to go with assigning any data types.
data
I'll
types.
show a small example like how you can assign the data types for this one. So yeah, so I want to print sum of two values. Okay, so summing values is equals to, I'm just providing this, we can always call it as in a list. Okay, so if it is the values are enclosed with this square bracket and separated within a comma, we are called this as a list. So I will explain more in coming sessions about this list, tuples, dictionary, and all these things. But as of now, you can just understand this is list. So in that list, I'm providing some values: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the sum of these values?
15,
Okay, 15.
9, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah, correct.
15,
It's
15.
15. Okay, I want to print the sum of these values. How I can print it? I should write a logic for that first, then that front end and accepting an input from the user. That all is the next level. So how we can do that? We have a sum function in Python that is again a built-in functions. You can provide that input as well inside into this function. If you really wants to know, if you really wants to understand the theory of the sum function, you can just press a shift tab over here. You will get a good documents, short documents. Return the sum of start values plus an iterable of the number. It means it is start with an like a zeroth position and end up with an iterable values. It means it is going to sum of all the values of the list. Okay, I'll just execute this line of code. See now, it is 15. How to print these values? How to print it? Let's say, okay, if you really wants to print a value of 2, like if you like first value, first is equals to 10, second value is equals to 15. And the result is equals to first value, we have plus symbol as well to do the sum, and second value. This is done. I'm going to print the result. See, that is 10 plus 15 is 25. If it is a string, you might get an error. See, can only concatenate string, not integer. String to string only you can concatenate. But here the data types are different, right? This is string, this is integer. So it is not able to do the concatenation or sum or whatever the mathematical operations, right? In that case, type conversion will matters. How we can do that? So let me take these two arguments from the user. Like I'll just give the function input, enter the first value. Okay, so I'll do the same thing here. Just I can specify this into second value, and then I'll print the statement print going with f string sum of two values. So I'll convert this into variables. Just enclosed with double quotes and parentheses. Now we are done with that. So I'm going to execute this line of code. It is going to say enter the first value, that is 10, enter the second value, that is 15. So now it is saying like sum of values is 10, 15. So it is 1015.
No, this is
It seems like it just appended those two values.
Yeah, it is just concatenated the two strings. Okay. In the backend, I will tell how it is taking. If 10 and 15. So it is just appending, just join the two sentences, two words. That's it. In this way. So it means this input is by default assigning with different data types, because this is the outsourcing, right? These inputs are coming from the outsource by the users. So internally we should convert that into an integer. So because we are doing in a sum operation, that is mathematical operations, I should convert all the inputs that is coming from the user into integer. How we can convert it? You can use the int function and str for to convert into a string type. Okay, you should provide your inputs inside of this int function, then it is going to convert it into integer type. If you are provided a values inside of this string function, it is going to convert it into string type. Okay, so now I'm going to convert this input into int. I'll just enclosed this complete input option with int function. It means whatever the inputs are coming from the users, that is going to convert it into integer. Here also I'm doing the same. Now let's try. First is 10, second value is 15. See, now this is coming correctly, that is 25, right? In this way, you can do the operations. You can do the type conversion and can achieve whatever you want. You
Now let's try entering in text value for 1. If it gives and it tries to convert into integer, does it fail or what does it do?
So you were saying like just convert one value, first value into string and second value into integer?
No. Run the same thing, and when we are asked for enter first value, give Vikrant and second value as 15.
No, it is not. It is again giving any error. It means, so how we can going to convert that Vikrant into integer? That is absolutely text value. That is a word.
Yeah. What error does it give? Can we try?
Yeah, not a problem. We can do that. See, invalid literal or int with the base 10 wiki. So it means it is not able to convert that into an integer.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing. Can we try to give both values in double quotes, 10 and 15? First value 10 in double quotes and second value also. Oh.
See,
So
by default, it is taking within a single quotes. Okay. Again, you are going to give within a double quote. It doesn't make any sense. That's what I said. Input function by default accepting all the inputs from as a strings.
String values. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Okay, here is the good discussion is like, let me see. So what is the difference between this and this? What is the difference between this and this?
The
Is
first one is
integer,
integer and second one is
second
string.
Yeah. So we can convert this 10 into integer as well and string as well, right? Hello?
yes.
Yeah. But is it possible to convert this text into integer?
No.
No.
No. No. That's why this input function is by default accepting all the input as a string. So we can convert that string into integer, but we cannot convert this like a text into integer. If you are provided an integer like numerical values, that I can convert it into int type. But if I provided any text values, it is not possible to convert it. So that's why by default it is accepting as a string. So after accepting as a string, if you really wants to go within a string data type, you can go ahead. Otherwise, you can change the data type in this way. Right? What happened? Just think about if this input function is accepting all the values as an integer. Is that going to accept all the inputs?
No.
Why?
Because yeah, if it is considering everything as integer, someone puts a text, it can never convert, right?
Yes, then obviously it will raise an error, correct?
Yeah, true.
So that's why to avoid that, this input function by default accept all the values as a string. After accepting that input, after that successful execution in your code as a developer, if you want to convert it into integer, you can convert it. If you don't want to convert it, you can just leave as it is. Right? This is how all the edge cases was taken care in the Python functions. Right? So this is what you should know.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hope you are understood of all these things. Like today maybe you had some good clarity on how Python works and how easy it is, how to understand it. So in Python, we have a good documentation in the sense, whatever the functions you are going to call, like whichever the libraries which you are going to utilize, you can just press go there and you can just press a shift tab. So you will get in a good documentation on that. What are the arguments it is expecting inside of your input function? And see prompt. It is none. If you really wants to give a comment or a text, you can give it. Otherwise, you can leave as it is. Right? So it is what it is going to do, what it is written at the end, what is the result is given, what is the results it is omitting. That all information you may get in a seconds. So you should be very flexible to work in this way instead of asking anyone. So just go, and if you really want to know what are the arguments that we have on inside of the function, you can just try to explore that. Right? Yes, this is how it works. And in this way, we have many more built-in functions to convert string and integer. And yep, so we can and in the mathematical operations again we have a plus, minus, multiplication is into, a division, okay, division and modulus. These are like some very basic mathematical operators we have in Python. You can directly go and use. So it is not like you should to declare the variable, you should to define the data type for your inputs, then you can use it, these operators and execute it. No. So you can directly go and check. So if you really wants to know 10 plus 15, see, that is 25. This is what the in-memory computations level in Python. So Python is easy to understand. this 10 and 15 is an integer values. So we could do what I can say, addition operation for these two values. If I make this as a string, what happened? It is just going to do the concatenation of those two words. Then it is take it as a 10 as a word, 15 as a word, and it is going to do a concatenation. So I'll just do a concatenation of two words, maybe Grant and addition, like the symbol, and Vicky. See, it is just going to like join these two words. Okay, Vikrant, Vicky. If you really want to join these two words with a space, again, you can add a empty strings in between this Vikrant and Vicky. Again, add a space, empty string, I'm saying, with a space. I'm providing you one space, okay, and adding it. So now Python is considering that these three are the three keywords, three values. One is Vikrant and another one is in a space and another one is Vicky. So it is going to join these three words. See, let's see. See, Vikrant, Vicky. So in this way, Python is you can give your commands to Python. So in Python, this plus symbol we are call it as an addition operation and as well as concatenation operation. Addition and concatenation both are different. Addition will works on the numerical inputs and concatenation works with string values. Okay, so if we are provided this multiplication or division, this only works with your integer inputs. Okay, otherwise it will throw an error. It will show some good errors. Okay, it is an understandable level. By seeing that error, you may change your code to execute that. Any questions so far? Yeah, I think that's it for today. Like if you guys have any questions, if you really want to discuss anything, you can go ahead now. We have still 6 minutes.
Sir, can you please add my name in the Telegram?
I think are you getting any Telegram channel link something?
No, I didn't get neither
Okay, what's
yours
your
or
name?
my name is Seshasri Vedanta.
Yashasri. Okay. I will take a note of that. Just a second.
Yeah, Vikram, can you add mine as well? I haven't been added. Agye Udar.
Sir, time to.
So just tell me your names. I'll just.
Agye, Agye,
Okay.
UDA. Last name, yeah.
Yeah. Who else?
Sir, Harisri. HARISRI. RISRI. Yes.
Okay.
Sharada.
Okay. Who else? Yeah, I will pass these names to admin to add it into Telegram channel. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, guys. Then if you don't have any questions, let's close the call for today. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.